All right, guys, so I've been asked by a couple other fighters to do a hanging man Pell breakdown. This is the one that I kind of designed. The reason I did this is because when you're fighting, your opponent is not just going to stand still like a typical static Pell is. A lot of guys just have a 4x4 stuck in the ground with some concrete and tires around it, and that's great for learning perfect form. But if your fighter knows anything, he's not just going to stand there and let you hit him with perfect form over and over again. He's going to be moving around. So I made this thing, and it's just kind of hanging from a tree here. So as you hit it and strike it, it's going to move around a little bit side to side and forward to back. And I just wanted to do an overview, basically how I made it. So this is Judas, our hanging man, hanging Pell. And basically all it is a 4x4 as the base here, and I cut it to about 5 feet. It goes from the top of my head to about my groin, and maybe 4.5, 5 feet. There's a little variation there, but I feel like that's about a good size for an average fighter. So I use the 4x4 as the base, and then at about shoulder level and at about hip or thigh level, I put some extra blocks in here on the side. And so all I did was I took roughly, I don't know, let's say 7-inch to 10-inch sections of 2x4, and I cut them down and I screwed them into the 4x4. So I'd put the first one in, put 2 screws into it, take the second one, put another 2 screws into the next one, and then put, the third one. So it's just 3 on this side, 3 on this side, 3 over here for the thigh, and then this one is gone, unfortunately, because we beat it up with so many leg shots over here on this side. So the 2x4s actually broke up and they're on the ground somewhere over here, but there was 3 blocks over here too. And then all I did after that was take some tires, and I cut the sidewalls out. So I'll show you what I'm talking about over here. I've got some extra tires laying around, and all I did was got a helper, my wife, and a Sawzall, and had my helper hold the tire in place so it doesn't walk on me. And I'd take my Sawzall blade and put it like right here and just cut all the way around the tire this way, remove this sidewall, and then we'll cut the tires in half or cut it into, whatever size pieces we need, and just use these treads here, the tread pieces, and that's all that we used to wrap our dummy with, our hanging man. And so I kind of just did, one piece around the bottom here, around the thighs and hips. We did a spiral, so we'd start here at the bottom and kind of spiral it around all the way up the torso, then do another one over the shoulders, and then one over the top of the head. And I just took these deck screws and screwed them into place like that. And then I drew me a little smiley face on one side of the head and a frowny face on the back side here. But the thing I did with these screws here on the face, there's 3 or 4 on this side and there's 3 on this side. So these are really handy for when you're doing thrusting drills. These also hold the tire in place, obviously, but you can target, okay, this specific screw, I'm going to try to aim for the nose, I'm going to try to aim for the forehead, I'm going to try to aim for the chin, right? And you can target and try to hit these little bitty points over and over again, or if you just generally want to aim for the face or the neck, you can do that too. But I like being able to zero in and work on really precise thrusts that way. The way I'm hanging it, I originally had an eye bolt in his head that ripped out. Basically so much spinning of the Pell caused the eye bolt to back itself out and it came out. So what I ended up doing instead, I just got a length of chain from Menards. I don't know what this is, maybe like a foot or 2 at the most. And then I just got a big lockable D-ring, and basically I just ran the chain through the top of this tire. So that's the importance of these deck screws holding this tire piece on the front and the back. But run the chain through the tire, connect it with a D-ring, and then I connected it to my rope here. And I had a couple buddies come over, a couple other fellow fighters. When I moved in, we threw the rope over this branch, big solid branch that'll hold the weight of it, and then basically it took 2 of us to hoist it up, because this guy does weigh about as much as a real person does. I want to say it's probably close to 200 pounds or more, so it is very similar to real human weight. So we hoisted it up into the tree and then just wrapped it around the tree a couple times and clipped it onto itself there. I'm sure there's other ways you could do this. You could probably make a gantry or some sort of A-frame or some sort of bracket to hold it. But this is what we did because I had a tree on the property already. And the tree's not going anywhere since probably older than I am. And so yeah, that's essentially it. The cool thing about it, right, is if you want to work on a moving target, you can give it a good front kick, and now he's swinging, right? So not only am I working on my Pell work and my form, but I'm also working on my depth and my measure and timing and trying to hit him at the right distance, or maybe sidestepping as he comes forward, moving around, that sort of thing. All that fun stuff like that you can work on and get a little bit more say realistic practice with your Pell. And in my opinion, this has helped me out a lot in my fighting, especially with longsword and polearm, because depth and measure and that sort of thing are so important in those styles of fighting. So I feel like this has helped me out a lot. And so a lot of other fighters have asked me, you know, how did I make this? I just wanted to make a quick little video kind of demonstrating the core components of it and how I put it together. Unfortunately, I don't have, you know, pictures or videos of me actually making it, but maybe I'll do something like that in the future. And for now, this is it. So if you guys have any questions, just comment down below. I'll try to get back to you as quick as I can, and get you some answers on anything that wasn't clear in the video. So thanks for watching.